Hey guys, MD Prepper here. The final piece of our 72-hour Dollar Tree survival kit. I put everything together, done all the math, calculations, put everything into smaller containers, pulled everything together as tightly as I can, pushed the air out of the bags using duct tape, electrical tape, and rubber bands to hold everything together. And this is our final bag. So, let me show you right here. This is the final bag with everything in it, including the 2 water bottles full of water. So this is absolute maximum weight and capacity for our bag. The only thing I did not include in this bag was food. I did not include the ramen noodles or anything else in the food category, because I figured that's a very personal choice, option. I got a lot of feedback, some of it negative, about the ramen noodles and all that. Some people said they wouldn't carry that because it takes too much space. Well, look at the bag here. There's the top of the bag, there's the bottom. So we've used maybe a third of the capacity of this bag, a half the absolute max, depending on how you want to measure that. But we could obviously include as much foodstuffs as we wanted in this bag. So we're going to not include the weight of food or the price of food in the overall bag. But what we're going to say, a pound per person per day of food is going to be more than enough, generally. So that's going to be 3 more pounds we're going to add on to the total kit size. I would say less than that. I'd say 2 would be enough, based on my 1,300 to 15 calorie max limit here on the foodstuffs. So, whatever. The cost of that, I'm also not going to include in the overall pack size here, because, well, it just depends on what you get. You know, you can stack this thing full of Spam, which is going to be kind of heavy. Lots of calories. You could stack this thing full of ramen noodles. Very cheap. You know, you can fill this whole bag full of ramen noodles for about $3. So, we're going to add 3 pounds to the overall weight, max, for the kit for food. And we're going to say an extra $2 to $3 overall, which is going to be caught up in the overage cost of the entire bag. Everything in this bag, I rounded up. If I used 2 of the 2 of the lighters, well, that's 66 cents. I rounded that up to $1. If I use 3/4 of the bag or 2/3 of the bag of cotton balls, which I did, I'm going to round that up to $1. So all the rounding up is going to probably easily enclose and include all the money used on food. So, alright, here goes the bag. Here's some of the basics. I'm not going to break everything down here, guys. But let me first say that the total weight of this bag, with the 2 water bottles full of water, which is tremendously heavy overall, the entire weight of this bag is 10 pounds. Didn't do exact weight. I had a little personal weight downstairs that I stood on. My weight, picked this up, there's a 10-pound difference. So, 10 pounds with 1.4, well, it says, 2 of those 700 ml bottles of water, whatever that weight adds up to, that's a big chunk of it. So we're going to have that distributed out against our belt and on our waist and all that. So, you know, it's not the actual weight of the pack, but it's the total weight of the entire gear. Okay, so here's our big bag. We'll talk about cost here in a minute. Let me pull this thing down. Start pulling things out. Okay. One of the big bags with all of our tarps, raincoats, etc., zip ties, etc., etc., etc. That's one big bag I got. So that's one pack. Sealed away, nice and contained, watertight. Our little grill here for boiling water on top of, preparing food, etc. The mesh bag. What do we have next here? The medical kit. I put everything in one big of the giant Ziploc bags. We've got our dry kit, we got our wet kit. Our dry kit is an extra Ziploc bag for protection. We have our hygiene, which includes our soap and our toilet paper on this end. So I put that all in one bag. Holds up nicely with lots of extra storage there if you need it. So that's the entire medical kit. Pills, Vaseline, isopropyl alcohol, Band-Aid, etc. Our cordage, 50 foot of paracord, not paracord, but polycord. I did throw in the bread knife with a little makeshift sheath here out of cardboard from the back container and some electrical tape. Wrapped it around to make a little holder there with the tape so it holds in nice so it's not going to cut our container. The piece that I keep in the bottom is our loaf pan with our little screw top container with tons and tons of great gear in it. Duct tape, spoon, little tea light candles. Overall we have 8 tea light candles in this kit, which is probably excessive. Whatever. I'm going to give the final rundown of this at some point. I may post it in the comments. Not going to do it tonight, but I might do it tomorrow, just so you guys know what's in this thing. So we have 8 tea light candles, 4 of them in there, duct tape, electrical tape down in there, everything in the world in this little plastic container, including extra batteries, 10 to 12, 15 cotton balls. All 3 of our shoelaces are in there. An extra set of batteries for both of our flashlights. Our secondary flashlight, the one with the angle in it. Let's see. Cigarette lighter, 2 packs of matches, so 64 matches, the smaller ones. Our Visine bottle full of bleach, which I wrapped up with the top full of electrical tape just to keep the thing watertight. Super glue, deck of cards, on and on and on. I put everything in this little thing. We got our spoon right here, and there's a very large amount of 3 giant pieces of tin foil, aluminum foil, down the bottom of this kit, which I'm not going to show you. So that can be used for making bowls, cooking things on, windshields, etc. So all that's in this one little kit here. Obviously secured with all of our rubber bands. Let's see, what else do we have here? A little daily, pocket carry kit that we talked about recently with the bandana, the little LED, 3 LED light, the multi-tool, hand sanitizer, a poncho, chapstick, hand sanitizer, etc. Just a lot of stuff in there. And I also threw in one of the small bottles wrapped up real tight, electrical tape of the bleach right there as a backup. Let's see, what else we got? The heaviest part of this kit, far and away, are 2 water bottles, which we're obviously going to keep at least one, probably both of these outside the kit, just because we don't want to get the inside of the bag wet. So I'm using cord or stuff like that to make a way to attach this to my belt or sling it over my shoulder, etc. These are both full, as you can hear. So that's a lot of weight. That's probably the bulk of our weight. I have to do the math on exactly how much weight that is, but that's a ton of weight for the kit. Another plastic bag with our bungees, the secondary poncho, our little knife, razor blade there. See that right there? But that's all that was in this little kit. Put that aside. Another piece, which I call the lighting kit. It's got our glow sticks. See those? Quite a few cotton balls. 4 more of the tea light candles wrapped up in tin foil. All of the tea light candles are wrapped in tin foil in case they get too hot. In case they melt, well, I don't have to worry about them melting all over my kit. I went for the 2 votive tea light candles in glass. A lot of people said not to, but I did just because I like the ability to pick those up and move them around. So we got those 2. Each of those is probably going to be worth at least 8 hours, probably more, 10 to 12 each. Wrapped up tight. 4 votive candles, tea lights, with another 4 in the kit. So that's 8 tea light candles with these 2. That's a tremendous amount of light with, again, a ton of cotton balls. Overall, we used, packing this thing up, about 3/4 of the bag of cotton balls. So somewhere close to 60 to 70 cotton balls in the entire bag. So that's a ton. Is that overkill? Yeah, but it filled up space that was going to get used up in the kit anyway. It's just going to be there, so I might as well fill it with something. Finally, we used both of our giant bags, big bags, and I threw the last 3rd one in there and the rest of our Ziploc bags. I think there's 4 or 5 of those in this kit. Those are all folded up just for extra water storage or containers, whatever you need. We had the space, so I threw it in there. Why not? So, there's the whole thing. The bag is now empty, as you can see. And now you're all wondering about the final price. The final price taking into rounding up and the food costs and all of that, again, remember, I did things proportionally. So if I had $1 worth of cotton balls, but only used 75% of them, that's 75 cents. So we scaled everything. So I spent a lot more overall on the kit, on medications and everything else. I didn't use the 4 to 5 bottles we showed. I condensed those into one bottle, and the cost of the entire bottle was $1, $1.50. I've got extra Benadryl, Tylenol, etc. that I'm going to use in the house, so that does not count. So the overall purchase I spent on this kit is going to be a lot higher than the actual final kit overall. But there's nothing in the kit that I have extra that I will not use. The extra isopropyl alcohol I'll use. I use that as aftershave. Matches, you know, I'm going to keep those around, use those as I need to. Tea bags, etc. You know, all those extra things, extra packs of whatever I'm going to use. The extra tea light candles. So the final cost of the Dollar Tree kit, $50. That's it. At the absolute max is $50. That's with me rounding the heck out of everything. I'd say the actual price, if I rounded down everything, is going to be anywhere between $40 to $45. So $40 to $45 for an emergency bag, emergency kit. I think that's very reasonable. Now, is that the best kit you could have? No, it's not. But that's not the purpose of this kit. This was just to think about things, to see what was available. You know, do I think the knife options here, our little bread knife and all, is pretty crappy? Yeah, it is. But it's what we had for $1. So, you know, I'd much rather have a $10 more knife for general purposes, you know, hacksaw blades, you know, folding saw, etc. But we did this on the cheap. That was the purpose. So, the total kit that I would feel confident going out with, you know, in this bag was $50. Absolutely at the max. Again, like I said before, the likely cost of this, the actual real cost if I didn't round down, was $40 to $45. I think that's very reasonable for all the gear we had. And again, I may post a line item list of all the stuff I have in the kit, but you saw that in the 0.5 versions of the entire kit, so you know what's in here. Didn't cut any corners and threw a lot of extra stuff in there just because I had the space. So $50, that's darn decent. Indie Prepper, out.